Okay, we're back, and we're finally ready to start the mission that I promised. Now, this is not the ship that we're going to be doing the mission with. This is the shuttle transport ship. It's an SSTO, and I'd have to say probably my most well-designed, aesthetically pleasing SSTO to date. And I'm using this as an excuse to showcase this ship off because the ship we're heading to swap crew out for, I pretty much don't have any footage of its construction. It has been a massive headache to build this ship that we're headed to. I've had lots of issues. Originally, it was designed to be flown up in 4 pieces, and I was going to assemble them in space. And then that didn't work, so then I reduced it to 3 pieces. Wait. Did I do... Yeah, I tried... No, I didn't try 3 pieces. I went from 4... to 3, that's right, I did try a 3-piece design. And then a 2-piece design, which is where we're at now. And I finally got it into space, but the rockets and the things that I used to get it into space were ugly, and they tended to blow up on liftoff, and all kinds of problems because it's a weird shape, and I had a hard time getting the center of lift underneath the center of mass. So, because I failed so many times, I got frustrated and I stopped recording after a while because I'd failed so many times. And there's just no video of the construction of this ship because it just isn't. I had to build it, and not only that, it's kind of a complicated ship, so the frames get kind of low when I get close to docking to it with this ship, and it's going to take me a long time to dock. Just because my frames are low, so I'm being very cautious. I don't want to collide. But this ship, on the other hand, is very beautiful. It kind of reminds me of a starfox ship. If anybody played Super Smash Bros. For N64, it kind of looks like the starfox level. Just roughly, when you look at it from the left, like a profile view of it. See, I keep looking in front and behind. I'm almost into orbit. You can see this ship is pretty remarkable. It gets into orbit no problemo. I even have enough fuel later to correct my re-entry so that I can land on the runway. But that's not the point. Right now, I'm still trying to get into orbit, and then I need to get my encounter with the space station. Or not the space station, the, I called it the IPKS. It's the IPIKI, or KSS. Or no, it's the IP KSS. Interplanetary Kerbal Spaceship. IPKS. And the IPKS's mission will be to stop at 3 bodies. I think the plan for this ship is to go Gilly, to Minimus, to Moho, and then I'm going to do a close orbit of the sun, I think. And then from that, I'm going to go to Gilly, back to Kerbin, is the plan for this ship. Hopefully, I can do all those things. But right now, we're going to do a crew swap. The construction crew has completed the construction of the ship. And now, one of them is going to go home. 2 are going to remain to continue on to the ship's mission. And 3 of the crew from this ship are going to swap out into the ship. So 1 goes home on this ship. And then 2 from the ship that are already there are going to stay. And 1's going to go home. And all 4 from this ship get on. So that's going to be 6 total on the ship, because there's 4 on this ship and 3 on the IPKS right now. So the shuttle has 3, or 4, and the IPKS has 3. And 1's going to go home. So that's going to leave 6 on the IPKS. 1 has to pilot the shuttle home, obviously, because there's no computers. Plus, landing is a human job. There's no autopilot that's quite that amazing. And I guess probes can do it, but this isn't going to be one of those. This is going to be a human landing. So we're just lining up the dock. Like I said, I have pretty low frames here, so I'm going very cautiously. I think I'm at like 10 to 12 frames, which isn't as bad as, let's be honest, the Star Yacht. I had probably 2 to 3 frames, but I have not built a ship this big and this complicated in a while, so this would be the evolution of the Star Yacht. This is the perfect ship. With the mods, I have made this ship able to go pretty much anywhere in the solar system. But we're going to do Moho in a close sun orbit with this one for now, with a crew of 6. With artificial gravity, too. I've accounted for all the things that the kerbals would need to survive this long mission, because the mission's going to take over a year. Alright, now we got to do a crew swap. Like I said, we got to get 4 off the shuttle onto the ship, and then take one off the ship and put it on the shuttle. So there's 5 EVAs total that we have to do. There's 1 done, 4 to go. The crew is pretty spectacular. I can't remember their names at the moment, but I do remember their pretty awesome names. If you take the time to read them. I think, oh, Buzz is one of them. Of course, we have Buzz, Kerbal. I can't remember who the other ones are, but they were all awesome names. Alright, we're going to get him out. He's going to go in the habitat module. We've got a habitat module that can house 4, a science lab that can house 2, as well as the main shuttle that can house 3 more, as well as the ship space that's available, because there's empty space in the ship, which I imagine is used for crew space. So that means a total of, how many seatbelts? 4 plus 2 is 6 plus 3, so 9 seatbelts total for a crew of 6. And 6 people can fit in the outer shell where the artificial, because the main shuttle in the middle doesn't have artificial gravity, but the outer components do, so all of the crew could stay in the artificial gravity. They don't need to go back and forth to the shuttle. I don't want to give too much away about the ship yet. We're just going to have this little teaser of the crew swapping over, and we don't want to actually give anything away. That'll be for next episode, obviously. Alright, we're undocking. We got 1 crew member heading home. I picked the guy with the dumbest name to go home, the one that I liked the least. I got enough fuel to do a gentle deorbit here. I'm just going to burn a few liters to deorbit the ship. The shuttle is going to return, and I'm going to attempt to land back on the runway. Hopefully, if everything goes to plan. Now you can tell already I'm getting re-entry effects over the desert, which means I'm going to lose too much speed. If I'm over the desert still, that means I'm a long way from the Kerbal Space Center. So I'm going to do my best to use the remainder of the fuel to glide gently back to the Kerbal Space Center. Alright, at about half throttle, running only 1 engine, the Rapier engine, on air breathing, so it gets really good fuel economy, I'm able to gently, and over a long period of time, glide back to Kerbal Space Center. As you can see, it's right there in front of me. I'm doing a course correction now. I need to head more north so that I can line back up at the 90-degree parallel, or the equator, because the runway is lined up with the equator. So what I'm going to do is I'm heading north now. I altered my course so that I can get more in line with the runway. Because I want to do as much correction as I can high up, where I'm still using my descent speed to continue my lift forward so that I burn as little as fuel as possible. Although at this point I'm pretty certain I'm going to make it, because I have a lot of fuel left. I'm burning about 1/100th of a liter per 10 seconds, so really no problem. Alright, I went north, now I'm correcting back to the equator to line up with the runway, doing some little left and right nudges to try and get it perfectly straight with the runway. And after I'm fairly confident that I'm as close to the runway as I'm going to get, I start a nosedive to kill altitude while gaining forward speed so that I can throttle down. I kill my throttle completely now, and I'm able to glide the rest of the way. I lower the landing gear just because I could wait till the last second, but I might forget. Knowing me, I would. I've forgotten many things along missions. This has been a super frustrating construction of building this ship, but this shuttle is probably my most favorite ship I've ever built, is this SSTO Shuttle. It can transport 4 Kerbals into space, and landing perfectly on the runway. Not even a wobble or a bob. Alright.